ni yetu. So first of all, mistake number one was watu kulala home. Because watu kulala home ilipea polisi time ya kufunga barabara, watu wasiingie tao. But for some of us sini wajanja, jana tulilala tao. Hakuna venye tulikuwa to miss protest. So this day was supposed to go like this. Tutokeleze si wote tao. Kwanza tukae kama masiafu, kujae, hata polisi wakose space na chance ya kutupatia gas. Then tuimbe wimbo zetu za revolution, tupeleke maua parliament, tuache petition kamoja parliament, alafu tushike njia, unaona hiyo njia hapo GPO, tuende Serena, tuende hivyo, unajua ni wapi tunaenda? Kula mchele ya Mama Shalini. Leo ndio ilikuwa goal. Bedhe leo lunch, hadi nilikuwa nione hiyo bedroom ya Shalini nimwachie outfits kadhaa hapo acha kuvaa vibaya.
But then Sophie, this place is well restricted and it's a protected area. Where is the fear of this is a protected area and mkishafika State House, mkishaona room ya Shalini, alafu message.
Hii area ni protected from who? Number one. Is it protected from the citizens, terrorists, nani? Number two, mwenye hapo ndani ya State House jana tulikuambia ni sisi tumemweka hapo. So tukienda kumwambia tumechoka na governance yake tuko na right. Kuingia State House, it is a show of the citizens having no confidence in your leadership and the citizens taking back their power. That was the plan. Lakini mimi naweza sema leo tumesucceed. Linda tumefika Serena. Linda tumefika All Things. Linda tulikuwa tumebakia tu hivi kidogo. Na as we speak, kuna watu wako hapo bado. Inakaa tukitoka hapa tunaingia hivyo.
Message ni nini? You know, I would like to understand.
Vote of no confidence. Vote of no confidence. Tumechoka na leadership yako ya kutudanganya na kutuua. And we are not afraid of dying for a system that is willing to kill us, Linda. We are not afraid to die to liberate our nation. We are not afraid to take back our power. We are not afraid to enshrine leadership by the constitution in this nation.
Well, Nyambura, let me come to you. 1 year down the line. Umesikia venye Sophia ameongea, the fear is gone. But then what's the end goal? Mmejipanga aje in terms of, yes, there is a vote of no confidence that has been tabled here by the Gen Zs that there is no governance, poor governance, accountability and stuff. What then?
Well, we want our president to drop his ego, come down to the level where we are so that we can have a conversation. But since he has shown us, hata tutoke kwa streets, hakuna kitu yote yenye hatusikizi. In fact, yeye anasema ata protect polisi. Kwa hivyo,
kwa ile statement ya
yeah, it was yesterday.
Muli interpret aje by the way your statement venye ilitokea?
How do you tell us? Okay, last month you kill Albert. No, let's go back to 1 month before his kuya leo. Albert, and then juzi kwa maandamano ya Albert Boniface. And then juzi police station ya engineer where I come from Nyandarua, kuna mama mwenye miscarriage kwa police cells. Hawakusikia or walisikia waka ignore. And then the day before yesterday uko Kipipiri kwetu kuna jamaa alishikwa ako kwa police cell and then tunaambiwa amejinyonga na this kitu ya kufunga mlango. Like the happenings previous before his kuya leo 25th ya commemoration, it's like polisi wanapewa power na our president. Because after all that he didn't say anything about wale watu wenye wameuliwa. He didn't say anything about wale watu wenye wako harmed by the police. But all he could afford to say is, I will protect the police. From who? Gen Zs wamekuwa terrorists. So that you can protect police from Gen Zs. Between Gen Zs who are harmless, watu wamebeba Kenyan flag, na polisi wenye wako na guns. ni nani mwenye ako dangerous hapo? Who is supposed to be protected?
Yeah. You know, you've mentioned hizo issues zote zime happen Nyandarua, and you know, many people who have watched the process today, the protests, they've seen Nairobi CBD, they've seen Eldoret, they've seen many other, including Nakuru as well, but Nyandarua, all those issues. So it's so shocking to see that also the youth of Nyandarua are really agitating with so many issues as well. So well, let me come to you, Andrew. Kutoka Maju, let me refresh your memory. He's on holiday, Kutoka Maju, and he's right here. Also has so many concerns with the governance of this particular regime. As we're speaking, it's 1 year down the line. Today we are commemorating June 25th, the last movement, the biggest movement that Kenya has ever experienced. From your own personal view, what do you think was really the intention of the day? Tuseme wewe sai unafaitia nini?
Yeah, before nijibu swali, I just want to add on what my sister here said.
Yes.
All the incidents that she has given about Nyandarua, that's just one county. That's just one example. We've had so many killings in Nakuru. Like, people have been going to the streets almost every week. And we don't see the leadership taking accountability at all. Tunasikia too, a few police officers have been arrested, and then a few days later they've been released. And you know, such things ndizo zinafanya tuende kwa street, because if you kill us, who are you governing? Like, we are the people that you're saying that you're making those policies for. You're the people that, you know, unasema that finance bill, tunataka tulete hizi pesa sijui nini, tutengeneze njia, tutengeneze health system for us. But then you abduct us, you kill us, you find us just expressing ourselves, then you kill us. And back to your question, I think the main intention for today was to really communicate vitu zenye tunapitia. So many times umesema we are the product of a free education. And I can surprise you that that free education that we got, tulisoma set books kadhaa. They've been seeing these things unfold. Kigogo, Kifo Kisimani, all those set books, they've been unfolding. Like, hata leo venye wamewazimia channels zenu, that's something that we read.
It was featured in one of the set books.
Na kwa picha fulani ilikuwa leo tuliona sijui rais alikuwa anapiga simu, alikuwa anaongea na nani. So maybe ndo alikuwa anapea directions kwanza kwamba wafunge huko. But the main issues ni, we want a country that is for all of us. We do not want a country where if we tell the president we do not want that cabinet, we do not want those leaders. Yes, you drop them, but then you recycle them. Some people have gone to school for 10, 15 years. They've been in the industry for 20 years. Why don't you give them opportunities? Why do you have to always give opportunities to those you feel like are going to sing your song? We want opportunities for everyone. Because honestly, kama ujui mtu hii Kenya upati job, we do not want that kind of a system. Because we believe that mimi nikitoka Lamu, mwingine atoke Nakuru, mwingine atoke Mandera, we should all be judged based on our competency, and not because we have someone in power or we have someone that knows. And I think that's also why, as Gen Zs, we are saying the current political leadership is also not the best. Hata wenye wanajiita opposition, most of them, I don't want to say all of them, but I want to say majority of them, we do not agree with what they are saying.
In fact, watu wanasema Gen Z ndio sasa the major opposition.
Yes, because tuko over 75%. Na unaona ni kama wanakataa kutupatia vitambulisho ndio tusivote, lakini we're still telling them whatever the number we'll have come 2027, that's the number that you're going to use to vote him out. And I really hope, you know, that we can have a country by 2027, in the sense that the president is going to listen to our grievances. Because kama siku ya leo, unaona kama wangesema mnataka kudeliver nini notice yenu, mnataka kwenda kupanda kuweka maua penye watu waliwawa, we're going to give you guys security. Bora tu msikuwe violent. Would honestly have done that. I was in town today, literally almost the whole day. And I can tell you most people were very peaceful. Like, polisi tu ndio wanakuja na matia gas zao na hizo water tank zao, wanaanza kugawanya watu ndio watoke. If they said that we are going to escort you guys, we'll give you security, muende mpeane petition.
They said that yesterday though in the statement that yes, there will be security, but not now. It was more of congratulating the police for doing a good job.
We do not take anything that this government says as something that they're going to do. The only thing we know they will do is when they say that we are going to meet you guys with full force, for sure we expect that. And the other thing I wanted to mention ni, as watu wa kawaida, tunaona hatuna watu ambao wanatutetea. When there is an incident, for example, for a politician, kama tuseme kuna politician ameaga bahati mbaya, ama familia ya politician imepoteza mtu.
Like the member of parliament.
Yes. We see all politicians go there. We see all politicians standing in solidarity with one of theirs. Na sisi jinsia kioo kwa njia ni nani wanasema huyo alikuwa gun, asijui alikuwa anataka police. Yet that's not the case. So lazima sisi ndo tutasimama pamoja. Cause sisi wenyewe ndo tunaelewa shida tunapitia. Kama venye wao wanaelewa shida zenye wanapitia ndio maana wanaongea.
Na wabunge wenzao. Then Sophie, what was the reaction that you were expecting today, perhaps from the government or even from the president, now that the protest has happened? What was the reaction yenye mlikuwa mnasema tunataka hii ifanyike? If Gava could do this, then at least there could be ceasefire or something.
Honestly, sikukuwa na any expectations from this government. Because 2.5 years is long enough a time to be able to see someone for who they are. Unajua shida yetu, particularly as Kenyans, is making excuses for people, is wanting to see the best in people. Yet mtu ashakuonyesha upfront, I'm a narcissist, I'm egocentric, I feed on violence, I feed on unajua hata tuko level same. Ruto wako how old, mimi niko how old. Mbona unanifight? Badala ya kunimenta, unanifight, why am I such a threat to you? Like umeishi double my life. So mi sikuwa na any expectations from this government. And that's why for me, it's half term. It's go home. It's, imagine if we're like this 2.5 years. What about 2.5 more years? Na mi naeza sema hivi, I am a firm believer that this government is not working for itself. This government is a puppet of the West. This government is being controlled by outside forces. And that is why those outside forces are telling this government, ati usipe education do, you will awaken these people's minds. Pay security do, so that you suppress them more, so that you refuse dissenting voices more. But there is a story of this man from Congo Zaire. It was called Mobutu Sese Seko. When the West got tired of him, do you know what they did to him? Walimwacha. And his countrymen got tired and he had to go into exile. That guy was not even buried in his own country. He couldn't go back. What happened to his kids? Okay, his kids are almost a few of the richest people in the world. Lakini at home, hawatambuliki. So that is exactly the same thing that will happen to our president once the West is done using him. And you know what they told Mobutu? You should have concentrated on your country. Nani alikuambia uingililie stories za Cold War? So him, nani anamwambia sikiza watu? Itafika point when push comes to shove, watamwacha. He's already naked. But soon, he's gonna pay for everything he's doing to us on his own.
And we've been seeing a rise of many Gen Z movements so far. Do you think this is a good thing, or this will divide all of you?
Do you know, even if we are 5, 6, 10 Gen Z's movement today, Linda, we've all shown up in the streets. Wow, mi nimemobilize kama revolutionary Gen Z movement. Nyambura amemobilize watu wake wa kwao. Ya amemobilize watu wa kongamano wamemobilize watu wanani. social justice centers wamemobilize. So for me, I see beauty in us being many movements. Because in our many movements, we are able to mobilize more people behind each of our movements.
Do you normally have forums like you meet with the rest of the movements? Because what we saw today was a blend of so many movements within the Gen Z movement.
Of course we do, because we have days that connect us. Kimathi Day, African Liberation Day, the day we were commemorating Ngugi, we meet. But most importantly, we meet on the streets. Now, a lot of our planning happens kwa ground. Hii mnaonanga social media ni aftermath ya kenye tumeongea kwa ground. And soon, Linda, after today, we are now a bigger force than we were before. Leo prove that we are still united. Kasmuel, Morara, they are not there today. But 1 million Kenyans have shown up on the street. So this is not a matter of who is leading us. It is a matter of what we believe in. What do we believe in?
But you're no longer leaderless.
We're no longer leaderless.
You know, there's a point where they say Gen Z is leaderless. They don't have this or that.
At that time it worked. Because we did not know what was at stake. Now we know what is at stake. Our future, our lives, and the lives of Kenyans, and the dignity of the life of Kenyans. That is what is at stake. Wenye wako nyuma yetu washatuonyesha hawana hiyo nguvu ya kutaka better. So sisi, we know what is at stake for us moving forward. So we're no longer leaderless.
Wait. Andrew,
Yes.
Are you leaderless?
I cannot be leaderless. Because the government that we are dealing with, or the system we are dealing with right now, if you become leaderless, they take advantage of that. And I think if you look back in last year, June 25th, and a few days after that, you know, that's when most of the abductions happened. And then they thought because we were leaderless, we were not going to speak. They thought because kila mtu ako njia zake, Gen Zs won't come together. But we have proven them wrong. We've come together and we have continued, you know, advocating for those who were abducted, those who were killed, and also for a better country.
Well, thank you so much. At least the Gen Zs are saying they are not leaderless, but they thrive in movements. I'll come back to you, Sophie, but we'll still have to engage the other panel on the other side, who's with Kagina. Kagina, take it over.
Well, indeed, thank you, Linda. And the conversation right here on Gen Z Manifesto inaendelea, doesn't stop. And picking up from where we left, it would be important to know now, there are things that took Kenyans to the street back in 2024. Now, for those who are in the street today, it would be important to see if some of those things have actually been achieved and how is the progress, probably starting with John right there.
We did not achieve one thing. Remember, there is a state house that has been renovated or is looking forward to renovate itself with 890 million. And one of the agenda today, after they disrupted the remembrance event, was to go to State House and deliver our message to the president. And I don't know why the president is afraid of visitors to a place he is renovating with 890 million. Because that should be a very good place in that he wants people to come and see. So we did not achieve that one, but a time will come. Today, tomorrow, we will do our best to make sure that we've delivered our message to the president, because we've told him many things and maybe he wants us to do it there. Yeah.
Okay. Alam, there were issues of accountability, you know, proper use of resources, one-tone disregard and show-off that we were seeing in 2024 that led to the protest. Has there been a slowdown in this from where you sit?
From the last year's demonstration, I would say the president started well, or rather he panicked well. He panicked well by dropping the cabinet, not ascending to the then finance bill, So we thought that, okay, maybe he has it has gotten into his senses that you cannot lead people the way you want. But unfortunately, what followed after was quite shocking and sad. If you saw the faces, the faces which we were against on that cabinet are the same faces who are still there. They have just been reshuffled in one way or another, but they are still the same faces. You saw Kipchumba Murkomen, the majority leader in the assembly, telling us that in as much as you made noise last year about finance bill, by December the finance bill was already, everything was already allowed on that finance bill. So we didn't achieve, and we have not achieved. We still have a president who is chest thumping. We still have advisors of the president. The advisors list, I don't know how many are there right now, when we have a man who claims to want to reduce the wage bill and the expenditure, and he keeps on ballooning the expenditure. So we have not achieved anything. The best that we are going to achieve is removing William Ruto. Because by having William Ruto there, that means we are not going to achieve any of those things we were aiming to achieve. Because this is a man who has shown that he is not willing to change. So that is why we are still on the road, even this year and even going forward.
Right, and that brings me to the question, Okayo. What Alam is raising here, are we dealing with an individual personal issue, or are we dealing with a systemic issue? Let's assume that the head of state that is calling for him to step aside does so. Does that solve every problem that Kenya has right now, or every issue that the Gen Zs are raising right now?
Of course, we are dealing with a systemic issue. But it's also important to understand that we are dealing with an individual that is propagating, or that continues to propagate, that systemic issue that we've had from before. And in short, we want someone at the helm to be someone who would want to change the system, someone who would want to clear, or rather to fight corruption in all the other government agencies and offices. Because corruption is not only in the executive office. Corruption is everywhere. Corruption is in all the government offices, including parastatals and universities. Corruption is even in individual offices or private institutions. So we would want, and corruption is a systemic issue actually. So we would want someone who has goodwill and has pure intentions to actually get rid of corruption. But that person is not William Ruto. And that's why we narrow it down to an individual and say that we want, because the buck stops with the president. In any case, the buck stops with the president. And we would want a president who is actually intentional about changing Kenya, about good governance, about accountability, about transparency, about fighting graft, about rule of law and constitutionalism. That is the kind of president we would want. We would want a president who will actually ensure that the police is a police service and not a police force, and deal with extrajudicial killings, and deal with police brutality. And we want someone who would want to pursue justice for the lives we've lost, and even for any other injustice that has been done to any individual in Kenya. That person we have established is not William Ruto. And so that is why even if we are talking about having a systemic issue, we have to peg it to an individual, because this individual is propagating the bad things that we want to get rid of in the system. So for the system to change, this individual who does not have goodwill for the people of Kenya must actually go. And that is why people are saying Ruto must. When they say Ruto must go, they mean all those things I've said. They don't just mean Ruto must go. They're not just heckling. They're not just making noise. They actually know what they mean. And we cannot list all those things every day. We sum it up and say, Ruto must go. Simple.
All right. Exactly formless, but we had lots of less being tagged along with the Gen Z protests. But it would be interesting to know now that nature abhors vacuum. if he resigned today, to the best of your wishes, then what next?
Kagina, before he comes in, sorry.
Now, allow me to hear from him. Then we'll come to you.
There's an interesting part of that, but anyway, it's okay.
Okay, for me, there is a mistake we made to be partyless. And we cannot remain to be partyless. We have to be in a party. Because by the nature of our constitution, it is very easy to grab a government when you are in the party, instead while you are independent. And as for me, I would encourage the youths and the GNZs to align themselves with the party that aligns or have the interest of their dreams. The only good thing that we've been carrying all through is being tribeless. For example, I can say my brothers here probably are not from my tribe through the accent that they are giving. And we are talking one thing, Ruto must go. So that is a spirit to carry on. But being partyless might harm us. Remember, we are establishing an AIBC. We are going to have by-elections. Then it means we shall not fill in candidates. And if we fail them, it might be difficult because of the nature of politics that we have in this nation. We would like ourselves to change the situation that we have while in parties that align with our agenda. Yes.
All right, Okayo, you had something to add before we move on.
Kagina, today we were walking around with a Bible, just in case. Because you see, we wanted to get to State House. And we were to deliver a letter
Yes.
in form of a petition. Had we gotten to State House and we found that the person to whom we were delivering a letter was not present, which we've been made aware he was not present, we were swearing in our president. But anyway, when we, and I want to sort of rebut what my friend is saying.
Even as we move.
Really, I don't think of the 92 existing registered parties and the about 7 parties with provisional result. I mean provisional registration. Actually know what they want, or actually know what the people of Kenya want. We've had like 92 parties.
But they're registered by Kenyans.
They're registered by Kenyans, fine. But parties have become money minting shops for individuals, where party leaders choose whom to give a ticket and whom not to give a ticket. And they choose that based on who gives them the most money. Parties are money minting shops. And that's why for us, we would not want to create a party. Because someone will take it in. The moment someone is a party leader, there's a problem. We are moving away from individualism. This, party or politics played pegged on an individual instead of issues.
All right. That indeed are interesting sentiments right here from the panel that we have in a studio. And for now, allow me to engage Majibu. Aendelee kutuambia from that side watu wanasemaje. Majibu huku wanasema watatafuta party, waache kuwa partyless. There are also divergent views. Wengine wanasema hatuwezi endelea na party, we have to be partyless. Majibu.
That's the same thing. Welcome back. Baridi imetuchapa mazee. After that long commercial break tumerudi tena. Bado niko na majenzi bana, wamesema leo lazima waongee iwatoke. Simba wanafini kama tuko Gen Z Manifesto, but yeah, manifesto tunaiandika daily. Lavani, nianze na wewe. Majenzi wamewaka moto na wanaongea vibaya sana. Do you think hii ndo moto itaendelea mpaka 2027, na do you think bado hiyo anga wako nayo ita translate into actual votes ikifika ni time ya kuvote?
I think if you look at what is happening, ukiangalia vile situation iko, ni generation ndio imechoka. Tumechoka na hizi systems zenye zinatuoppress. You look at everything, they are not working, we do not have jobs, we do not have opportunities. In terms of security, we are not guaranteed. We are being murdered by the same people who are supposed to protect us. Our money is being misused. And it's just a generation that has said enough is enough. So coming Ezenda hadi 2027, yes, even beyond 2027. Kenyan politics has changed forever. the political landscape and the leadership of this nation has changed for good. And there is, let no one lie to you that we will continue as business as usual in this country. Things have changed and the landscape is going to be completely different from the one that you're seeing today. You know, ideally, many people would say that young people do not get involved in politics, or they don't engage in civil matters. But Gen Zs, millennials are proving that to be a false narrative.
Na nikuulize, if Gen Zs leo watamua to form their own political party, utajoin ama utawatch from the sidelines?
Sasa ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba Gen Z already wana form political parties. I'm aware of many political parties that are coming up. Leadership is going to take shape, and we know we have to take power through political organization. So it is not a matter of if we form a political party, but it is a matter of when the political party is ready. But the ideals of that party is what will define how that party should be, because hatutaki vyama ambavyo vinahusishwa na mtu mmoja ama na usemi mkubwa kuliko wengine. Tunataka chama ambacho kitahusisha vijana wote kutoka chini hadi juu, kwamba ukienda pale hata kama hauna uwezo, hauna fedha, na bora ukue na maono kwa taifa la Kenya, utapata nafasi ya uongozi.
James, hiyo anga itaendelea mpaka 2027 na bado ita translate into actual votes?
Hapa mbele hao wanasiasa tunaenda kuonyesha very bad things.
Ukisema bad things unamaanisha nini?
Tunaonyesha very bad things. Kitu ya kwanza, you are not going to hold a rally na ukuje kutuuzia uongo. Hiyo rally tunaharibu. That we will promise them. Hautasema umetenga sijui pesa ya daraja fulani kutoka 2019 hadi wa leo haijawahi fanywa. Hiyo uongo hatutasikiza. Secondly, we are going to recall the MPs, the useless ones, because we know them by name. Fortunately, we have an IBC in place. I think they are in the final stages za kufinalize to ikue alive and kicking. There is nothing that will stop us, and there is nothing that is going to hinder us from impeaching and recalling our MPs. We are going to take the war to them.
Kwanza ukiongelea story ya IBC, kumekuwa na issues mingi sana na vizuri umeileta. Many times elections zimekuwa zikifanyika, bado the same issue imekuwa ikihappen. Tunaenda another election, mabox za evidence ndo hizo. This time round, do you think that the governor from IBC yenye itaenda in line na Kenya Gen Z wanadai?
The IBC we have is already lopsided. This IBC belongs to William Ruto, and everyone knows it. The opposition has voiced their concerns on this, and by opposition I mean the Gen Zs, because we are the opposition.
Nipate Luciana hapo kwa IBC. Bado amesema IBC inegemea side moja, side ya president. Gen Z mnasemaje on the same? Na pia last time nilikuwa nasema, kuna walikuwa nasema this time round elections zitakuwa noma sana. Wakihesabu pia nyinyi mnahesabu on the other side. Unasemaje on elections na pia accountability ya the election body?
Okay, first tulisema wazazi, if at all unaenda kuvote, beba ID na beba akili. Kama unajua utabeba akili, please kaa nyumbani.
Kuna wenye walisema hata watu wafichia IDs.
Tutafichia ID. And then about voting, pia sisi tutakuwa tunahesabu. Because tuta make sure all the Gen Zs wamevote. So you vote, unatokea online unatuambia nimevote. You vote, umetokea online umevote. And then tutakuwa na kwa stations, tutakuwa na wenye wametusimamia. So they're the ones who will be counting for us. So wakicount na sisi tuna count. So tutakuwa tunajua at this polling station the president, the MP, the senate, the governor amepata kura ngapi. From there tunaunganisha from this polling station to the next polling station. Before simati nikufika Bomas, we already know who is the president. Yes.
Nipate yako pia Bazu. Mnapanga kuemploy tactic gani to keep the same energy iendelee hadi make sure that whatever you are demanding it may happen?
About tactics yenye hata to set au wenyewe wanaiset wenyewe
ama ni maandamano,
because this government, you know, it's failing, ina fail seriously, ina fail kila mahali, like nothing is working. The institutions are failing us, talking about security, the president himself, even the parliament, like they're all failing. So about the anger, wanatukasirisha kila siku. Alafu to be honest, tuongee ukweli, sisi watu unajua kuna ile enzi tulikuwa wadogo, unatudanganya tu, wacha nitakuletea nitakubaia. Like this guy is lying too much, hadi anajidanganya mwenyewe. So this energy sioni kidedi not at all, unless to agrees and do venye tu si Gen Z tunadai, because we are crying for good governance, respect of law, especially our MP. Unajua wanajifikiria tu na hizo tumbo zao, and justice, because if you have food, land and freedom, then life itakuwa tu poa.
Naomba tuchukue a short commercial break, but tukirudi ni hapa tu bado tunaendelea na conversation live on K24 and Kameme.
Kameme TV.
People Daily, Kenya's trusted newspaper, is making history as the first daily to go fully digital. By transitioning from print to the PD News app, we are delivering the same exceptional journalism you've relied on for years in a completely new way to experience it. It's news for today and the future. No paper, no waste. Just real-time updates and customizable stories. This is a leap towards innovation, sustainability, and a better experience for you, our reader. Download the PD app now on Play Store and App Store. People Daily. News that moves with you.
One day, you will eat, walk, and talk like royalty. I need you to wake up.
Uko aware this is not a game?
Make it happen.
We need to shut this business down.
Hii biashara ndo kila kitu kwenye hii familia. Nikufe ama nisikufe.
Kama mbaya, mbaya.
An eye for an eye.
What is your family involved in? Go close to take control over the hearts of empire. When in mnoma sana.
Makofi ya the world champion baby. Na hii ni makofi ya Morphix, which absorbs the liquid 3 times faster na haiwezi leak even in 50 different movements. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Gatano tariki 27 mweri uturi, kambuni ya Pwani Oil ni igacera matura ma Kanjai na Kigio mwena wa Githunguri kunyitanira na arimi aria maigaga ng'ombe cia iria ni magoka gukuonia njira njega ya gukama ugitumira maguta ma Sour Milking Jelly maria makoragwo mari soft na magatigirira ati ng'ombe yaku ni irakamika wega na njira njega o ati ndingihitha iria. We murimi wa iria ni ukeyumiria wone uria maguta ma Sour Milking Jelly mokite gukuguna urimi-ini waku. Ni gatano ka tariki 27 mweri uturi, Pwani Oils magitwikania Kanjai na Kigio. Ni ukeyumiria.
Crowd goes absolutely emphatic.
Get ready for more on Supersport, the only place to watch all the FIFA Club World Cup. Orera Kameme TV.
As you wait for your call to be picked, here is today's inspirational quote. Life is a roller coaster, full of good days and bad experiences. We must learn to accept finite disappointments, but never lose infinite hope.
Ili kuset never lose hope kama skiza tune yako, dial *811 *628 #.
on the old My DSTV app. Time to make the switch. And yes, it's as easy as it sounds. Just download the new My DSTV app and log in as you normally would. Everything you need is right. All time.
Got it,